The shadow of fear has once again fallen over the villages of Sokoto State, particularly in the Eastern Senatorial District, as the notorious bandit Kingpin Bello Turji continues to prove why he is the most wanted man in northern Nigeria. As we move deeper into the early days of 2026, the reports coming out of the Isa and Uno local government areas are nothing short of a nightmare for families who only want to live in peace. The latest gist spreading like wildfire across the region involves a series of targeted attacks where the primary goal was not just to steal cattle or money, but to specifically abduct young ladies. This isn't just a random act of violence. It appears to be a calculated and cruel strategy by Turji's men to provide what some are calling rewards for his fighters, or to use these innocent women as high-value bargaining chips in his ongoing war with the state. The atmosphere in places like Chacho village and Bargaja is heavy with sorrow, as residents recount the terrifying moments when armed men on motorcycles stormed their homes in the middle of the night, ignoring the pleas of fathers and mothers as they dragged away their daughters into the dark forests. One of the most heartbreaking stories from late 2025 involves a young bride-to-be in Chacho village. Imagine the scene. A family is gathered, laughing and preparing for a wedding scheduled for the very next morning. The joy was palpable, the food was being prepared, and the bridesmaids were all together celebrating their friend's big day. But at about 1:30 a.m., that joy was shattered by the sound of gunfire. Turji's men didn't come for the wedding feast, they came for the people. They abducted the bride, her close friends, and several other residents, totaling over 13 people in that single raid. The father of the bride, Malam Umaru Chacho, has spoken out with tears in his eyes, describing how his village has been neglected and left vulnerable to these monsters who operate with such boldness. This specific targeting of ladies for the Kingpin is a chilling evolution in the banditry crisis, suggesting that as the military moves closer, these criminals are becoming more desperate and more willing to strike at the very heart of the community's dignity. The situation in Bargaja village was equally devastating. In a fresh raid that left 5 people dead, 9 women were whisked away into the bush. What makes this gist even more frustrating for the locals is that there were warnings. Social activists and local watchers had raised the alarm hours before, reporting that Turji and his large convoy of motorcycles had been spotted moving from the Shinkafi axis toward Isa. Yet, despite these alerts, the bandits were able to strike, kill, and kidnap before disappearing back into the wilderness. If you are watching this and you feel the pain of these families in Sokoto, please take a moment to hit the like button. Your support helps bring more attention to these stories that the rest of the world needs to hear, and it ensures that the cry for justice for these abducted ladies is not silenced. Also, if you want to stay updated on the rescue efforts and the latest moves by the security forces, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We are monitoring the situation hourly to bring you the facts and the most important updates on this developing crisis. There is a deeper reason why these abductions are happening now. Security experts believe that Bello Turji is devastated and angry following the recent death of his top lieutenant, Kallamu Buzu. Buzu was a key emissary who handled the collection of levies and the terrorizing of rice farmers on Turji's behalf. When the Nigerian military successfully took him out in a well-coordinated ambush in Sabon Bini, Turji reportedly took the loss very personally. He is said to be seeking revenge, and targeting vulnerable women is his way of showing the government that he still controls the lives of the people. This anger has been made worse by the international pressure coming from the United States. Following the Christmas Day 2025 airstrikes in Sokoto, which targeted high-level terrorist enclaves, the bandits feel like they are being hunted like never before. By abducting ladies for himself and his commanders, Turji is trying to create a human shield of victims, making it much harder for the military to use airstrikes against his hideouts without risking the lives of innocent captives. The related talk among the people of Sokoto is one of deep frustration with the lack of permanent security outposts. Residents of Chacho village have pointed out that despite their large population, they have no police station and no functional hospital. They feel like forgotten citizens who are only remembered when a tragedy hits the headlines. The fact that bandits can enter a village, spend an hour selecting their victims, and leave before any help arrives is a major fail in the current security architecture. While Governor Ahmed Aliyu has distributed patrol vehicles and motorcycles to the community guard corps, the people say it is not enough. They want the military to take the fight directly to Turji's camp in the forests, rather than just responding after the harm has already been done. There are even rumors that some of the abducted ladies are being forced into marriages to bandit commanders, a practice that Turji has used in the past to tie himself to local families and create a network of forced loyalty. As we look at the broader picture of 2026, the question is whether the Nigerian military's Operation Fasan Yama can actually rescue these women. The use of advanced drones and the arrival of deadly supplies from overseas should in theory make it easier to track these groups, but the forests of the northwest are vast and provide many places to hide. The families of the abducted bride and the other 9 women from Bargaja are living in a constant state of prayer and waiting. They have received calls from the kidnappers, but interestingly, the bandits didn't ask for money right away. Instead, they demanded to speak directly to the traditional rulers. This suggests that Turji is trying to assert his authority over the traditional leadership, essentially telling the kings and emirs that he is the one they must answer to, not the government in Abuja. It is a psychological war as much as it is a physical one, and the victims are being used as pawns in this dangerous game. I want to hear your take on this very serious situation. Do you think the government is doing enough to protect the rural communities in Sokoto, or are we focusing too much on the big cities? What do you think is the best way to handle a kingpin like Bello Turji, who uses women and children as leverage? The comment section is a place for us to discuss these issues and share our thoughts on how to bring peace back to the north. Please share this video with your friends and family so they can stay informed about the reality of what our brothers and sisters are facing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now. Your subscription is a sign of solidarity with the victims of banditry and a way to support independent reporting that puts the people first. We will continue to follow the story of the abducted bride and the ladies taken to Turji's camp, and we will bring you any news of their release as soon as it breaks. Stay safe, be your brother's keeper, and I will see you in the next update.